Hi guys, welcome to this third video in the NVIDIA vGPU series. Together with me still is Jared Cowart of NVIDIA. Today we're going to talk a bit about monitoring and capacity management of your vGPU solution. So as you may have read or gonna read in the VDI design guide, one of the processes that is mandatory in a design and deploy process is, of course, monitoring and managing your capacity. So Jared was responsible, or still is responsible, for the integration between NVIDIA and the vRealize operations solution. So Jared, could you explain somewhat more about the solution?
Yeah, so one of the things that our customers around very successful projects focus around is kind of phases to the project.
Yeah.
A lot of questions I've received in the past around what applications and how much of the GPU are they using. We've heard this for years. And so what we needed to do is we need to go back to the drawing board and make sure that GPU metrics were being reported on correctly. In the early days of vGPU, when you went and monitored the GPU, you actually saw the entire physical GPU,
Yeah.
which means you could actually monitor what was happening on a physical GPU from another user, which obviously wasn't going to work. We needed to monitor the vGPU for users. And so we went to the drawing board and we needed to add monitoring capabilities into each one of those virtual GPUs. Now, when we went back to the drawing board, we looked at one of the best management monitoring solutions out there, which we felt was vRops, or vRealize Operations Manager, as well as V4H.
Yeah.
And so what we did is we wrote some extensions into that solution, and we wrote some extensions into the vGPU manager that now expose that management components, those monitoring components of the vGPU. When we were initially designing this, we broke this in, and in talking to partners like you, and I believe you've added a ton of this great stuff into your book, we really focused around a couple of user types. So we realized that the very first thing that we needed to deal with was our architects. This is oftentimes partners, but this needed to be deployment, right? So deployment people, and within this deployment or architect, we needed to deal with the phases of the project that we're dealing with, deploy, assess, and pilot, right?
Yeah.
And so we needed to be able to provide tools that gave this phase of the project useful things like, what is my density? What applications are consuming GPU? And so we did just that. So
Right.
within vRealize Operations Manager, you now can go in with a plugin, and hopefully we can put that somewhere on the screen so people can take a look at it. But you can download.
Yeah, we'll download it here.
Yeah, so you can download this plugin, plugs right into VMware Operations Manager, and now that gives you the ability to go through all your hosts, and if there's a vGPU manager or a grid card or Tesla card with any of those, you now have the ability to look at your GPU utilization, your frame buffer utilization, encoder, decoder utilization, how many vGPUs you have from availability perspective, and with 6.0, which we released late last year, we now have the ability to do application monitoring.
Really?
So I can tell you at this phase in the project which applications are consuming GPUs.
Wow.
So how many of those applications there are. So this is just one phase of a project, and I'm sure within your book you talk about this assess phase, right?
Absolutely.
This is an assess pilot phase. What we figured though as well is we needed to have solutions. So we've got reports within vRops and vRealize that really help here.
Yeah.
We also have another phase that's really critical to a project, and this is for what I kind of say is our IT admins, right? These are people that within our project are doing VDI management, deployment.
Like on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis. They're trying to just make sure things are operating. So this is more of an operations perspective. And we've got reports within here. So within the vRops, we actually have a host report, a vGPU report, a cluster-wide report. We've got all these different dashboards that people can now go in and set their alerts that can notify the IP or the operations guys of what's going on here. So this is kind of our assess, deploy, manage, monitor, and then we have to have another phase here, which is really critical, And this is for troubleshooting. What do we do in regards to troubleshooting? So this is really help desk.
Yeah.
So we've got to make sure that our help desk is trained, that our help desk has the tools to figure out if I've got a heating problem, maybe it's a hot-cold aisle issue, or maybe it's a server issue. So all these reports within vRealize now give us the ability to tell temperatures, utilization, all this great stuff. So this is our IT help desk, and this is really VDI user support. And this has enabled us within our solution, because we built the solution with these kind of tools at mind, to be able to handle every phase of that project, from assessing, designing, deploy, and then kind of repeating, kind of coming back to assessing what the problem was and maybe redesigning and redeploying. But I encourage everybody to take a look at the vRealize solution. vRealize is a fantastic product. It's simple to deploy. It's literally like 3 clicks. You'll install the solution right within vRealize. Deploy it out. You specify your vCenter username, password, and that could be a sub-service account. And once that happens, it goes and discovers all your vGPUs, all your physical GPUs, and pulls that into the dashboard.
That's it.
And you're done.
Really?
So at that point, then you might want to set alerts up and things of that nature, just like you would do with any normal vRealize or within a V4H, the vRealize 4 Horizon.
Right.
You may want to configure those as well. But now you have the ability to track down that noisy user that might be doing something they're not supposed to be doing. You can do all of that with the solution. So it's just a fantastic solution that's really been well received within the industry.
Yeah.
And I would encourage everybody to take a look at it. It really helps you to better understand what's going on within your deployment.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Guys, thanks for watching again. If you would like to know more about V4H, vRealize, or the integration with NVIDIA, drop me an email. Here's my email address. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.